Vidhi, actually, I believe that India is a market which is really competitive, and especially in today's era, startups, they are evolving at a high rate. We even see in Shark Tank, people are pitching their own strategies, their product line, their services that they are offering. And in highly competitive market, how do you stand out in such a crowded marketing space? Okay. After college, most people chase after jobs, but then you, at the
Mhm.
same time, you started off thinking, creating something of your own. But so I'd like to ask about the moment actually when you realize that things are turning and you want to actually start your own venture. What was the actual thought process behind that? What were the scenario like, and were the people around you, were they supportive, or how did you actually deal with the situation? Hi everyone, welcome back to Skill Sapiens, the success blueprint, where we record the real stories behind the success that you see. I'm your host, Ritika, and today we are having an inspiring guest who proves that college is not just about degrees, but it's about discovery. A proud Delhi University alumna who has dove deep into academics and extracurriculars, and the result? She has walked out not just with a degree, but with a dream. And now she is the founder of her own startup, carving out a space for herself in the world of entrepreneurship. Let's talk about her journey, vision, hustle while you are creating your own path. Please welcome Miss Vidhi Juneja. Please welcome to the podcast, Vidhi.
Thank you so much, Ritika. It was a wonderful introduction. I really feel very appreciated by your sweet words. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm also actually very much excited to talk to you. And first of all, thank you so much for taking out time for us. I know you were very busy in your schedule, still you made out time for us. I really appreciate that.
That's
Thank you.
completely my pleasure. I had to do this because considering you and I have a personal touch too, would you like to tell the audience what the personal touch is about?
Yeah, actually, we are from the same college. You were my senior, and now you are at such a great position. So I'm honored to interview today.
Really, really happy that I'm going to give this podcast to one of my college's alumni and junior. So that makes me even more welcome to be here. Lovely being with you today.
All right. So actually, my questions today will obviously bring back you to the back to your college days. So shall we start?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So my very first question to you, I would ask you to please go back to you where it all started into Delhi University, your college life. Could you please tell me how was it all about, and how did actually it shape your perspective?
Yes, thank you. Definitely, college plays a big role. So, thank you for this question. I'll go back to my college days in Delhi University. I basically started this in my master's, but Delhi University has a huge role to play in this. To give you a brief about myself, I am Vidhi Juneja, and I've always been in Delhi, born and brought up in Delhi. So, post school, every other student was, if you get Delhi University, that's it. तुम्हारी लाइफ बन गई. And considering I wasn't well off in my academics so much. I was an average kid, and university required you to be very, very good with your studies. I thought I might not get in. But luck worked, and I did get in Metri College in Delhi University. And then always heard about these societies and colleges that, you give auditions for these societies and you get in and you do real work and everything. And like a very excited student in my first year, unfortunately in COVID, but in online, I gave auditions for almost all societies. And even in the societies that I wasn't interested in, I thought kisi na kisi mein to ho hi jayega. So I gave, and then I got selected into multiple societies which resonated with me, in actors or placement cell or achievement cell, which was uh, covering stories of other Delhi University achievers. And then later years may I got into Artisto, which is the Fine Arts Society, and then NSS. So all in all, I had like five societies, and trust me, the college experience was very good. I did not learn a lot from my lectures, which was only just merely there for attendance. All my skills are developed from the college societies that I got. The real world that I got was the experience and everything was from the college societies. And that's why whenever I go somewhere, I always say that your degrees is just your knowledge, but how you use that knowledge, skill set, building, all of that will be helpful only when you join the college societies and तुम्हें पता लगेगा कि क्या हो रहा है उस टाइम उसके साथ साथ. So college and university has literally shaped me, polished me, and gave me so many skills that are really helping me in real life today. So I loved being in college, and I am actually in my last semester of masters, and I'll be completing that. So with all the learning is coming the building of Heart Arts India with that.
Okay, so yeah, Vidhi very well answered. I mean, that's what I expected out of you. Actually, you have also mentioned that extracurricular activities play a major role into shaping your career and your profile, obviously, because I myself I am from DU. So I know what extracurriculars play a role in your careers and into your profile. So obviously, as
Right.
you have already worked in there, so can you tell me like how did those activities, those societal events actually help in shaping your personality, and did they actually help you while you were working upon your startup?
Yes, so I'll give you an example with each society that I was in, so you can, and the viewers and the audience that is listening can relate to it. And if they wish to join the societies, they can get an example of how it helps you. So I'll start with placement cell. When you're in college's placement cell, you get to interact with the HRs, you get to write those proposal emails, you get to send proposal on LinkedIn. So I had no LinkedIn. I did not know how to make a LinkedIn account and LinkedIn पे करते क्या है. When I joined placement cell, and then I realized LinkedIn पे बनाना होता है, and then you have to keep your professional backup उस पे, and then you have to put all of that you do, internships, XYZ, everything on that. Then sending and cold calling HRs, how do you do that? When the placement companies used to come for placement fair, how do you deal with that? So I was a placement coordinator. So I used to deal with all of those things. I was a student, but I knew when I'll walk out of this college, I know how these HRs work and how to send a proposal and how to do cold mailing and how to be professional while you're also a student. So the real world events that we were organizing is exactly helped what helped me making my own launch event and launching my own event wherein I had to contact vendors, do some professional and very affirmed work with them. So that helped me there. Artisto was obviously about art, and I never left art even in my school. So a lot of my polishing also came from my school. I would like to give credit to Tego International School, Vasant Vyar, for my polishing and my leadership skills because that is where I was appreciated for my work, continuing the work in college. So Artisto really helped me while we were putting up stalls and everything. I put stalls now in colleges for Heart Arts India. So I know how to set up a stall and do the uh, XYZ aesthetics and everything. और स्कूल में भी I used to set up stalls. So वो एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलम चीजों का पार्ट बनते बनते ही स्किल्स बढ़ी और अब वो मुझे काम आ रहा है. फिर एनएसएस में हम सोशल वर्क करते थे. अब एनएसएस में सोशल वर्क करते थे तो मुझे पता होता था कि अच्छा ये कैटेगरी है, इनको इस तरीके से हेल्प चाहिए, इन लोगों के पास ड्राइव करने जाना है. सो व्हेन वी गो, वी वुड नीड दिस मटेरियल, वी विल हैव टू रीच लाइक एन आवर बिफोर on the set time. So that is what is helping me when we go there for drives for Heart Arts India. And then when we talk about achievement cell. So I have a network of achievers whom I interviewed, who had startups and everything. So while I'm giving an interview to you, I can actually feel like a full circle that, these are the questions that I used to ask people, and today you're asking me. So it just feels that I know how to articulate my answers well in that way. So that, and apart from that, there was another society that I am forgetting, placement cell, and another one, Enactus. Yeah, Enactus is a huge part that it played. It was actually social entrepreneurship, and we were working for rescued sex workers and helping them make those candles, and then we were selling those candles. So Heart Arts India is also about social entrepreneurship. A part of us is commercial and a part of us is doing pro bono work for social impact. So all of it is coming together. The skills that I was learning, how to write emails, I'm doing that. And then bhaga dori events ke liye kaise karni hai, it's all coming into picture. So while you sit in class, you definitely get the knowledge and what the teachers are telling you. But how do you apply those things? You only apply those things and those English literature lines and those feminism topics and those sociology ke lectures which I took. All of that will be applied once you get on the ground and interact with people. So it's very important when I say to people these days, wherever I go, that holistic development and holistic education is very important. It's not just the books that we have anymore. It's more of praxism. I don't know if I'm using the correct word, but all I mean to say here is, if there's no practical knowledge with what we are reading in books, then the knowledge will go in vain. So skill development is very important, which societies did help me achieve.
Yeah, I agree to your answer because even I believe that extracurriculars, actually teach us more than just the textbooks. So obviously, and also one thing that you have mentioned, that life is a full circle, definitely. And I am interviewing today is because of your achievement. You have achieved really big things in your life,
Thank you,
and I really,
Ritika. Really a pleasure. Really a
yeah,
pleasure.
even that's commendable of you actually to achieve all those things at such a young age in your life. You are just 1 year senior to me, I believe, and still you are at such a great position that I'm really honored to talk to you today. Okay, so,
Really glad. Really glad. Thank you.
okay, so moving on to the next question, you have already mentioned about a lot of things that you have done in your college life. Obviously, that's really great.
Right,
But like most of the people in their college life, while they are still figuring out things, getting into all those things and managing them all together, it's a really difficult task, right? So, and
right.
like most of us actually fail to do so. Not everyone can be a multitasker like you are. So obviously, I'd like to ask, were you able to balance all these things, and were people actually sacrifice on one thing to get to the other? So did you at any point in your life felt like you would have to sacrifice on one thing to get to the other, or did you actually balance it all out?
So it is a mix of both. I was able to balance it out because I had my priorities, which is most important, and this thing I cannot miss, and this thing I can still give 2 days later. And when I'm talking about this, I mean the societies which come with college work, and then we have our internals and we have our exams. So at one point, I did feel that I had too much on my plate and I was not able to focus. I was everywhere, but I was not at one place focusedly. Uh, so it did take a toll where I was thinking that, I am doing everything, but what is that one thing that I want to pursue from all of them? So I was not focused on one thing, which did make me question a lot of things. If I was focused at just one thing and I knew my purpose earlier, I would have started this earlier. But nevertheless, I mean, there are timings for everything, so it did happen. But for students who are juggling with a lot of things, I would just like to tell them that firstly, do not miss on the opportunities that truly resonate with you. Secondly, prioritize what is right and what is urgent and what is on priority. If your exam is tomorrow, you will study for your exam and not do your society work, definitely. So, the assignments, do not take a lot of load on assignments. I would say assignments are something that can be done 2 days prior, 1 day prior. The society work and everything, they can be done as well. When the events are coming, you need to focus on that. When your exams are coming, you need to study. And I honestly think everyone from DU or any college student would understand, for exams, we only study a day or a two prior and we get all the marks that we want. जितने चाहिए होते हैं उतने ही मिलते हैं, चाहे 10 दिन पहले पढ़ो चाहे 2 दिन पहले पढ़ो. तो एग्जाम्स और मैं असाइनमेंट्स को इतना ज्यादा प्रायोरिटी नहीं देती थी, मैं कर लेती थी एक दिन में, तो मैनेज हो जाता था. उसके बाद जो एक्चुअल वर्क होता था सोसाइटी का, जैसे मुझे एक्चुअली इंटरेस्ट होता था, आई यूज्ड टू फोकस देयर मोर. आई यूज्ड टू थिंक कि दिस इज समथिंग दैट आई एम एज अ पर्सन, सो इफ आई गिव इट हियर, इट माइट हेल्प मी. बिकॉज when i when you tell people about yourself, so they also resonate you with the things that you do in life. So so that is what I felt, that if this is a part of me that resonates, for example, doing social entrepreneurship, which really resonated with me for Enactus because I was doing the same in school as well. So then I joined Enactus and I thought that this is something that I would take. So setting your priorities right with what you think will resonate or help you in future, do that. And you should definitely have a also, one thing that plays a role is you should definitely have a good company around you. The friends that just talk about irrelevant things, and sometimes fun and everything, and most of the time fun and everything is good, but is that fun and that group helping you grow as a person? Are they your biggest cheerleaders? When you tell them things, are they happy? So luckily I had those friends and good company around me. But I see that a lot of people are stuck in peer pressure. So I would say that when you are doing things in college and making your priorities straight, you need to understand that what truly matters to you, and then everything will fall into picture. You'll be able to manage it all. But just the things that matter to you, prioritize them.
That's really a good piece of advice, Vidhi. Thank you so much. I think my viewers would be definitely learning something out of this, obviously. And actually, now we have come to the most important and my favorite question of this segment. Actually, I've been meaning to ask you about this question since the very beginning. So, okay, after college, most people chase after jobs. But then you, at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, you started off thinking, creating something of your own. But so I'd like to ask about the moment actually when you realize that things are turning and you want to actually start your own venture. What was the actual thought process behind that? What were the scenario like, and were the people around you, were they supportive, or how did you actually deal with the situation?
Thank you for that question. I'll dig you deep into my personal mind, personal mindset. क्या चल रहा था उस time? I'll dig you deep there. But yes, according to the support that you're asking me, yes, I was very lucky enough to have that support, and I was at a privileged level that I could, take help from people, or there was a uh, big support available to me, and it's still available. My parents, my family, my friends, and their acquaintances, everybody was very supportive. So there I did have some motivation to start. And coming to the mindset of what I had, this was not something that I thought and I just released it. This was I released Hata India 2025, whereas this was a brainchild of 2024. So I was in my masters, but prior to that, between graduation ke then and between masters ki cutoff list, there was a gap of 6 to 7 months. So after I was done with my graduation exams, I took up an internship in a corporate, which was MetLife Global, and then I started working there. And I thought, if I don't get a master's college, at least I'll be doing this corporate job, and then sideways I'll do my masters. But in the last month of my internship, I got an opportunity to do masters in Ambedkar University, Delhi, in MA in education, and I wanted to do it regular. So then 1 month was that I had to do my night shift in Noida, and then in the morning I used to go to college in my masters to attend my lectures at 9 a.m. So there uh, started that, if I'm doing this MA in education, you know, after this, what, Vidhi? Will you go for a job again, or will you have something of your own? And my mindset was that after MA education, I'll go for a job. But in the last year of masters, I just thought that, that I have a lot of ideas and everything. Why am I not able to get them into action? Uh, and a lot of things does come from your self reflection and you sitting alone, staring at the wall, staring at the fan, कि ऐसा क्या है जो जिसमें मैं खुश नहीं हूँ अंदर से, और मुझे क्या चाहिए. ठीक है, I'll get to that job वगैरह, but what is the soul work that is still left that you want to do with it? And I used to ask myself that, if this degree and this degree and this degree did not, so I have started a art, this thing, but I'm not a fine art person, or not a NID or an F person. I used to really cry, being somebody who was highly skilled and was good at everything. Everything, not meaning I was the best, but I know little details of every part कि ठीक है, ये कैसे करते हैं, ये कैसे करते हैं, ये कैसे करते हैं. But मुझे ये नहीं पता था कि मुझे actually में मेरा niche क्या है. What do I want to pursue from all of them? So I used to question a lot, and I used to think कि, if I eradicate my degrees, what is something that I would be? मेरे दिमाग से आता था, I would help people, I would teach people, and I would be an art therapist and ऐसे ऐसे करके. Then I thought कि the degree which I'm doing now, let's utilize this and make something out of it. So then came Heart Arts India, working for art, education, and social emotional well-being. And then I used to sit and मैं लिखती थी कि कैसे कैसे होगा. So I have a notebook जिसमें लिखा हुआ है कि Heart Arts India 111, because I'm a bit spiritual that way. So इसमें लिखा हुआ है 111 coming soon. And then I used to do हॉस्कास विलेज में जाके मेरी फ्रेंड ने इंट्रोडक्शन वीडियो रिकॉर्ड करी थी. हाय, आई एम विधि जुनेजा ऐसे करके. इट्स स्टिल अवेलेबल ऑन माय इंस्टाग्राम. The ones listening, you should go and check that out on at Miss Vidhi Juneja. So the video still exists. And उसके बाद मैं बैठे बैठे सोच रही थी कि अगर हम लॉन्च इवेंट करेंगे तो हम इनके साथ करेंगे, यहाँ पर सुंदर नर्सरी या लोधी गार्डन में करेंगे. लोग उससे हम किस किस को टैप करना है, तो मैं कॉर्पोरेट को बोलूंगी, स्कूल को बोलूंगी, इनको बोलूंगी कि मुझे वर्कशॉप्स करने दे. और उस टाइम मैं I mean, I wasn't a certified art therapist, but now I am doing my art therapy course, and I'll soon be a certified therapist. So that will help me be more credible. But all of this was sitting in my room and writing अगर ये करूंगी तो ये करूंगी, and a lot of my friends were very supportive when it came to making a logo. I did not wanted to spend on making this before starting anything, so my friend helped me. He was sitting in UK and I was in India, and my another friend from India only, they were on video call and we were editing it कैसे करना है कैसे करना है. So it more of became like a, like everybody coming together and helping me build this. And when these workshops happen, or when I talk to them about ऐसे करूंगी, all of them had their ideas and everything. But yes, after college, yes, everybody does not get, and even I do not think that the success is so easy that just after college ekdam se mil jayega and you will not need a full time job. I would still need a full time job, and I will continue my passion project till it reaches what I think it should. And this will keep going with or without a job. But yes, I would feel that, and I would say to people that this is the youngest you'll ever be. And so what I did was, while I was in college, लेक्चर्स चल रहे थे ना, लैपटॉप पे पीछे बैठकर मैं लिखती रहती थी कि ये करना है ये करना है ये करना है, तो मैम पढ़ा रही होती थी, मैम की बात सुनती थी, ठीक है ये पढ़ा रही है मैम, मैं वो पीडीएफ खोल के बैठ जाती थी, उसके बाद मैं पीछे से हाडा चिंडा का काम करती रहती थी और किसी को पता नहीं होता था क्लास में क्या कर रही है। बट धीरे धीरे मैंने बताना शुरू कर दिया था अपने फ्रेंड्स को कि ये चल रहा है, ऐसा कुछ होगा। और फिर जैसी क्लास खत्म हो जाती थी, मैं बच्चों से पूछ रही थी, अच्छा मैम ने क्या असाइनमेंट दी है, क्या करना है बस मैं इतना कर देती थी कि असाइनमेंट टाइम पे चला जाए और मैम जो पढ़ा रही है मुझे उसकी थोड़ी आइडिया हो कि मैम क्या करा रही है, मैं अपने पीछे काम करती रहती थी बैठकर। बैक बेंचर ही थी मैं, तो मुझे बैक बेंचर ही बन के मजा आता था, क्योंकि आगे वाले तो सिर्फ मैम का पर्सपेक्टिव सुनते थे, पीछे वाले सबका पर्सपेक्टिव सुनते थे, फिर अपनी करते थे। तो ये बड़ा मजा आता था बैक बेंचर बनने में। तो कॉलेज में मोस्ट पीपल डू चेज जॉब्स, एंड दे शुड, बिकॉज वी आर कंडीशन कि हमें नौकरी करनी है, इसके बाद अच्छे पैसे कमाने हैं। बट टू क्रिएट समथिंग ऑफ योर ओन शुड कम विदाउट अ प्रेशर कि वी हैव टू, मतलब मेक इट सक्सेसफुल, अदरवाइज वी विल बी अ फेलियर और समथिंग। बिकॉज इफ वी स्टार्ट समथिंग विद फियर वी विल फेल एट इट। तो जस्ट स्टार्टेड कि ये मेरा है, हो ना हो ये, दिस एंड मी विल बी बेस्ट फ्रेंड्स, इफ पीपल से माय नेम, ये हमेशा साथ में जुड़ा रहेगा। तो स्टार्ट समथिंग ऑन योर ओन, डिट डज टेक अ लॉट ऑफ करेज, बट विद द राइट इंटेंशन एंड योर ओन हार्ड वर्क, सब अच्छा रहेगा और सब सपोर्ट करेंगे। पीपल रियलाइज the intention of people and they do support. So do a job, but then also do these things. It's like your passive income or something coming out, and then later can be changed into full time.
That's really very well answered. Actually, I can understand that you are a person who is, you have a really a mindset of growth. You are inclined towards growth, and you obviously you want to upskill, keep upskilling yourself, and you want to grab the opportunities that come to your way. That's really commendable. And actually, also that
Thank
one
you.
thing that yeah, that's also one thing that you have mentioned is that people actually fear of failures, and they don't go into the things that they actually like because they don't know about the outcome. They fear the outcome, and what if the things actually don't turn out how they want it to be. But then
Right.
because yeah, but then people, they have messy beginnings, obviously, and your journey is obviously an example of how messy things and how, late night juggles and those sleepless nights, everything, how do they turn out to a success story. That's really commendable, and people should actually learn from it. I don't think they should, fear from failures, because you are a true example of that, how you should, make your weakness your biggest strength. That's obviously very great. Now, actually, I'd like to ask on that note, if was because you were having, a really, background of something else, and what you thought was really different, and you were actually confused between jobs and if you want to be an entrepreneur. But now, when you have become one, was there any incident or any challenge that you faced, and how did you actually cope up now that you have become?
I Yes, so the idea of having a job is still there. I'm just coming out of college. I'm not yet done with my masters. 1 month more, like end of May, my masters will end, and then post which I will be joining a full time and then doing this. So that conditioning and does not go, and you need, of course, money plays a big role when you're pursuing other dreams, because it actually helps you fund your current entrepreneurial journey and everything. So your question saying that a lot of people are do fear failure. I think even I did fear failure, which is why I wanted to be perfect and before launching it that this should be there, waiting for the right time, ऐसे करके, and then I delayed it कि नहीं नहीं not abhi. And I thought of doing it around December, and I thought, people will be busy in their new year, so let's not do it. Let's have another time when I can do it. So even I was fearing the uh, different scenarios which didn't even matter. ये क्या बात हुई कि ये होना है तो ये अभी लॉन्च मत करो, पहले कर देना चाहिए था, या ऐसे करना देना चाहिए, ऐसे कर देना चाहिए था। उसके बहुत फियर्स होते हैं, और फियर वो तभी आता है जब आपको लगता है कि आपको एकदम परफेक्ट होकर करना चाहिए। और ये मेरे साथ प्रॉब्लम है, मुझे लगता है जब तक मैं एकदम परफेक्ट नहीं होती मैं नई चीज डालूंगी, बट देन यू ऑल्सो लूज ऑन टू अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स and a lot of opportunities. So that's what I've realized. When you think that you should do it, जैसे भी है डाल दो, and then you can create your perfectionism while you're going through all of that. I did not know how to make a perfect proposal for Heart Arts India. I made it on Google Docs एक बार, and then मैंने भेज दिया था. But now after many months, now we're making those PPTs and everything. So I'm actually learning perfectionism while I'm in this journey. So your question being that uh, another point that wanted to ask. Can you please repeat that once again for me?
Yeah, sure. So my other question to you was, now that you have become an entrepreneur, what
Mm-hmm.
was, kind of a reality check? Did you actually what you wanted? Did you actually get that, or is entrepreneurship a completely different term than what you expected?
So entrepreneurship is very powerful when you talk about that. She's an entrepreneur, she's doing that, but it's really something जिसमें तुम्हें घिसना पड़ता है. तुम्हें बहुत घिसना पड़ेगा स्टार्टिंग में. Till you show people that some things are being done, you are just a sole power of the name that you hold. So there is a lot of solitude and a lot of power that you will hold within yourself. Entrepreneurship is, although you will have a lot of people around you and will support you, but it is a very lonely journey, and it will be very alone for you. And you need to realize that you being alone in that decision making, or in that going to vendors and alag alag jagah dhakke khana, that loneliness is not your weakness, that is your power. So you will have to be very much in power with your solitude. You will have to realize what your opinions are, what you want, what you don't want, because you will get opinions from a lot of people. But then how to choose it will be your direction and your ideation. So entrepreneurship is good, but the initial may you will have to do a lot of hard work, because what happens is that I saw that starting may a lot of people, we didn't have some image to show of us, because we were just a recent name and people didn't hear about much about us and everything. So people were not ready to collaborate. They wanted money. If I said that, yeah, I want to do a launch event, or I want a place for it, so we'll charge this much, we'll charge this much. So I said that we're a youth organization and we're under MSME, we're a small business, so we can't give that much. And so people are not ready to, I would say most of them are not ready to take such intentions, or people, or support them in that. So that was a huge problem. And then I also realized that a lot of vendors just want to deal with the heavy wholesalers and everything. And when I go there and I say कि हमें इतना इतना चाहिए, तो वो बोलते हैं ठीक है मैडम आपको दे देंगे। तो वेंडर्स का भी बहुत दिक्कत होता है। एंड देन यू आर द वन जिसको सोशल मीडिया भी करना पड़ेगा, जिसको पैकिंग भी करनी पड़ेगी, फिर उसके बाद इवेंट्स पे भी जाना पड़ेगा, बैक टू बैक इवेंट्स होंगे, तो यू विल हैव टू डू एवरीथिंग। सो इफ यू थिंक ऑन्टरप्रेन्योर बनकर आप एक चेयर पे बैठ जाओगे और सारा काम अपनी टीम को पकड़ा दोगे और ये कर दोगे, तो वो नहीं हो पाएगा। यू विल, जॉब में तो यू जस्ट हैव 9 to 5, व्हेन यू आर एन एंटरप्रेन्योर इट्स 24/7, कॉन्स्टेंटली आपके दिमाग में चलता रहेगा व्हाट नेक्स्ट व्हाट नेक्स्ट। सो द पिक्चर ऑफ एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप एज अ वर्ड इज वेरी फैंसी एंड एवरीथिंग, बट आपको बहुत घिसना पड़ेगा। और मेरी मम्मी कहती है, मैं ये कोट बहुत यूज करती हूँ, जितना घिसोगे उतना सोना बनोगे। तो दिस इज वेरी ट्रू दैट शी सेज कि जितना अभी घिसोगे उतना ही बाद में जाके सोना बनोगे। तो बी ओपन टू डूइंग द मोस्ट हम्बलेस्ट थिंग एंड मोस्ट, यू विल बी अ स्विच। when I say I go to सुबह मैं इवेंट पे गई and I was a judge there, and then I came and they were like ma'am everything, and then I had done my event and I came back। then शाम को ब्लेजर उतार कर अपने पजामा चप्पल सब में मार्केट गई, वेंडर से बात करी, उसके बाद अपने चार पांच जो इतने सारा सामान था वो कट्टे में उठाकर लेकर आई रिक्शे पे, और फिर अगले दिन वर्कशॉप थी. तो you will have to do everything, and you'll have to realize that people from every direction, wherever you get in touch with people, although you will be considered somebody who's an entrepreneur, but you will have to make your perspective open कि जिससे भी आप रोज मिल रहे हो उससे आपको सीखने को क्या मिल सकता है, which is very, if you connect with people on that level, you will be a person full of values, and people will connect to you if you give them that credit that this is something that you learn from them. So be open to perspectives and be open to do a lot of hard work, and पूरा वन मैन आर्मी बनना पड़ेगा और अपना एक सॉलिट्यूड पावरफुल पर्सपेक्टिव रखना पड़ेगा. So that is something about that I learned through this journey.
Yeah, I agree to that. Even, when networking is very much important when you are into such a field, and even if you're actually ready for, working hard, I think entrepreneurship is the best career path that you can ever be in. So kudos to you. Very well done. Okay, so now
Thank
moving
you.
on. Yeah. So now moving on to your startup journey, I want to know everything about your startup, what it's actually about, and what are the things that you are dealing in, and how does it actually solve the problem for the society? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. Okay, so I am the founder of Heart Arts India. Heart Arts India is an organization that runs on three pillars, which is art, education, and socio-emotional well-being for children and adults. So we cater to schools, NGOs, colleges, then corporates, then independent events that we have, and then other occasions. And we do art workshops, and then dealing with art and education, and art and learning, and art and community building, and so community building as well as social self awareness. So our events are widespread into different categories. We went to school, we gave them awareness about animal well-being through art, and we did terracotta and everything for their water bowls. Then we went to university, which is my own university, Ambedkar University, and then we taught TLM building to the future teachers, which is teacher learning material through cost effective materials which is already at home. And then we are planning to go to corporate, where we'll be organizing art workshops which helps in team building and bonding, team communication, and as well as social emotional well-being in corporates, because you see social emotional well-being in corporates are very important, considering there is a lot of mental health issues with the stress that they have. And the independent workshops that we have, we try to inculcate local vendors and some artists which we can give platform to. So all of this, and all of this coming together, because we are spread into different directions, wherever we go, wherever place an opportunity we get, we try to include something which can help the society, meaning that we only source from local vendors, and we give platform to artists which have never performed before, or who are not a professional but maybe have like 200 or 300 followers. We generally, people reach out to ones who have like 50K followers, or 10K followers, they are renowned. But we want somebody who is a friend next door. So if your friend is somebody who sings well and would be interested in coming, you would call her, and free of cost, you would give her the platform and she would sing in that workshop. We'll give her a 10-minute set, and then we'll put her picture on Instagram, giving her a recognition and all of that. Then apart from that, we try to include some cost effective and sustainable materials. So we try to use pista shells in our artwork. We try to use terracotta in our artwork. We try to use paper cups, so that we don't use plastic a lot. So cutting to those things, cutting down to those things that harm the environment, we try that even if we're doing art workshops and everything, we are more aware and responsible for what we are using after the waste is generated. It's all something that can go back into the soil. So we try to do that. And the social emotional aspect, which is in schools very well talked about, mostly in elite schools, but not much in low income schools, which is SEL, social emotional learning for children. So there is a curriculum, social emotional learning, and we try to modify our lesson plans according to that in schools. So there is social emotional well-being. Students are aware about their own feelings, and students reflect what they think and what perspectives they have, and then they try to eradicate whatever feelings are coming into their mind into an artwork, when they put their thoughts into a piece of paper, or when self expression is done. they actually realize a lot about themselves. So for schools, we do that. For colleges, we do that. And then we put up stalls for self-expression, DIY, tote bag kits. So our thing is revolving around service, and a part of us is product. Mostly we do only service, and we do service, like I said, into NGOs, colleges, schools, corporates, other occasions, and our independent events that happen as art workshops. So that is it. And then social emotional well-being, very important part of children and adults. I did not want to keep any age gap. So when people come to our workshops, you can see a 6-year-old joining a workshop and a 64-year-old lady coming to our workshop in the same space, because we don't want to create a difference of what social emotional well-being and how important it is for one age group. So we have opened it to all age groups, and all of them are welcome to our art workshops. So only for NGOs and low income schools we do pro bono work, and apart from that, all of it is chargeable services. So this is something that we want to make people aware, that art can be used as a tool to empower your mind as well as be included in your education. So we hope to make that impact as well as giving our services to different sectors. So yeah, that's about Art Arts India. Yes.
Okay, so Vidhi, actually, I believe that India is a market which is really competitive, and especially in today's era, startups, they are evolving at a high rate. We even see in Shark Tank, people are pitching their own strategies, their product line, their services that they are offering. And in highly competitive market, how do you stand out in such a crowded marketing space?
That's a very interesting question. I would give you a brief answer to this one. Uh, thing that worked for me in Hard Arts India, I was definitely skeptical about how I will make a mark and how will I reach the audience early or maybe starting. So I used my own network at DU. I used my network at my college, and I started to take interns from there on, so that the area and my networking kind of expands. So when we went to take interns, we made sure that we go to every fair of Delhi University College. So even if we go there, and even if 1% chance we don't get the interns there, at least people will see our board and our logo sitting there, or maybe our standees. They will look at our standees and they will have some idea of our existence. So if the crowd can't come to you, you go to the crowd, so that the visibility is there. And another thing that worked for me was that collaborations. You will succeed by lifting others, people who need you, people who want more people, or people who want to just come together to support each other. Do a lot of make sure that you do a lot of collaboration, so that your visibility is increased. When you collaborate with people, two audience combine from two sides, so there's a cross marketing that happens. So if we did a lot of collaborations starting from maybe February, Jan, and till now also, we are mostly doing collaboration work, and that is helping us a lot with social media also when things go up on internet and everything. So collaborations work the best, and always try that you go to different events. And even if you don't get anything out of that, just make sure that if we are going somewhere, our first priority is to market and to make people know that we exist. They at least know that this logo exists and Heart Arts India exists. So just go there to inform people about your visibility, your existence, and collaborate with people so that your network expands. That is something that I learned, and it's working well up till now. So I hope that people take something from this.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really awesome. Actually, it's a great marketing strategy. So now moving on to the last question of this segment. There are people who
Mm-hmm.
are still students who are still struggling with their career paths, who are looking for the opportunities. They question themselves if they should go for entrepreneurship or they should go, for being an employer or anything. So, what piece of advice would you give to those students who are still struggling in their career lives?
So I think I can only speak from my experience, because even I feel that some days I do need a career advice, but a student to student, of course, because I understand where students are coming from. So I would say that entrepreneur is something that doesn't need a degree. All people running business are not MBA. All entrepreneurs are not MBA. And everybody who has their business in some sector sitting at some place are not commerce people, or are an art a certified artist who's doing this. Even for me, I'm not a certified or a fine art certified college degree person. So I would like to say that entrepreneur is something that you can start with or without a job, or you can start as young as possible. And this is the youngest that you'll ever be. Tomorrow you will be a day older, day after you will be a day older, a year you will be even older. So this is the youngest you'll ever be. So, college is the best place and the best safe place, as well as the best network that you will have. So start with an idea and, check while you're doing and working with the idea, check what potential it holds and try it. You will not regret trying, but you will always regret not trying. So for people struggling कि मैं शुरू करूँ नहीं करूँ, what if it's about money? Start something which doesn't require money. Start with building a community first. And if you think that you have a bit of savings and then you can make your card on Canva or something, or make a logo yourself, just start. And starting is as simple as making an Instagram page and asking your friends to please share this on your story. That is the simplest start that you can do. And your ideas are worth, and trust me, whatever is in your head, if viewers are listening, audience is listening, trust me, whatever is in your head is worth trying. Just try it, and then you will know what works for you and what doesn't work for you, and then you can navigate life according to that. So try. And the thing that will make you different from other is just take the action, and then you'll be separated from the rest, and you'll have your purpose being followed as and when you grow in life. So that would be my advice. And definitely give your thoughts some motivation, and think that your thoughts are enough to change something. Give that credit to yourself that you hold something within yourself to change things as in how you like. Try things, take the opportunities, and be confident while you're doing it all. Yes, that would be my advice. I hope that, people try something with their own ideas and they flourish with that, definitely.
Yeah, that's very right. I think that's definitely something to learn from. And viewers, please take a note on that. This is a really best piece of advice that you could ever get. So, on that note, we have actually come to the end of this segment. And now I would like to begin with second segment of ours, which is a rapid fire round. It would be a quick, fun
Okay,
segment.
wow. That's coffee with Karen edition.
It's something more than that. Actually, it's not that gossip about that gossips and everything.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so you know the rules, right? You have to just answer in one word or one sentence, right?
Okay, right.
Okay, so shall we start?
Yeah.
Okay. My first question to you is what is that one college memory that still makes you laugh?
One college, there are many college memories, but one college memory I would say is going back to my own college for the placement cell where when I was a part of as a coordinator, and few months back I got to go back to that same place in the same event, but as a company this time. So you can say it definitely made me laugh कि मैं कहाँ आ गई हूँ, but it was more of very wholesome and very humbling, as well as very warm memory that I hold. So that was one of the memory that I liked.
Very right. Okay, next one is one startup myth that you would like to burst.
The success is not overnight. What you see after the recognitions which people see comes after a long backup of consistency that a person has been doing since a long time, and then later comes the blossoms. So backup and back behind the scene work is a lot, and then you reach the recognition.
Right, right. Okay, now define your startup in just 3 words.
Art, education, and social emotional well-being.
Okay, you were prepared with that, I think. Very right
I think
answer.
the Hard Arts India says it itself with their tagline. So it's just 3 words.
Okay, again, it's about your startup itself. If it was a song, what would it be called?
हम्म, जिंदगी की यही रीत है, हार के बाद ही जीत है.
Oh, very, very well. Okay, any book or any podcast that changed your mindset?
The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. It is about the power of manifestations with definitely action taking approach. So I was not a person who used to read books, but that book definitely changed my mindset.
Okay, I think I would also have to read that book to be successful in my life.
But yeah, that definitely changes perspective. It gives you some individuality.
All right. Okay, so last question. If you had to pitch up your idea in Shark Tank in 10 seconds, you how would you do that? Please go ahead.
Oh, that's a very tricky thing. I think I'm not prepared for Shark Tank yet, but I would just add a simple line, a college dream, a startup dream, uh, or maybe I would say something in terms of stresses in everyone's life, but how does all of it come to an end? Heart India is your solution to all of it.
Oh, that's very well answered. I did not expect that.
I think I can do better. I can do better, but this I was put on a spotlight here. But I can do
My
better,
God.
definitely.
That
Yeah.
answer was really spontaneous. So I think your kudos to
Yeah, yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yes.
No, no, yeah.
Okay, so now we have actually come to an end of this podcast finally. Thank you so much, Vidhi, for your time, your journey. Actually, from lecture halls to boardrooms, and you from being a part of societies to now pitching up for your startups. It has been a really commendable journey. So, thank you so much for being with us today, and thank you so much for sharing your story.